Good morning, welcome to Furry and Spoilt. Today I'm going to show you how to read the ingredients on dog food. It's something incredibly important, very dear to my heart, because this little sweetheart here, he was incredibly ill when we first got him with hot spots and itchy skin, and by changing the food, it wasn't everything, but it was certainly one of the big factors in getting him better. It's very important you can read the dog food because what they put in it isn't always the best for your dog, and it can really affect how they feel and how they behave and different illnesses with them. So I'm going to go now and show you how to do it. Bye. Okay, so I want to show you how to read the ingredients on the back of dog food. Now, what you feed your dog's really important, and I know with mine, it stopped hot spots and itchiness. If you've got problems with hot spots or itchiness, I've done a whole video about it. Right, so I just want to show you how to read the back of packets. So when you get dog food, a good quality dog food will tell you on the front the amount of meat that's in it. So when you're feeding a dog a food, what you're interested in is how much meat or how much fish is in it, because that's what the dogs need. They need the protein, and they do need vegetables and minerals and herbs and stuff too. So you wouldn't want 100%, but you do need a very high amount of the actual meat. And so the one I feed my dogs is Barking Heads. It's a wet food and it's 85%. If you are just going to quickly watch the beginning of this video and then turn off, I just want to quickly tell you, if you're good with wet food, don't ever assume that the dry food in the Barking Heads wet food, don't assume Barking Heads dry food has got the same good quality ingredients, because it really hasn't. And I will show you that, but if you're just watching this quickly, always take wet food over dry food. So 85% chicken, and if you turn it over, now on the back of dog food, what they call this is composition. So bear with my old eyes, just trying to get this. So they call this composition. So you see there, look, composition. So it's not called ingredients like it is on our food, it's called composition. And the higher the wording, that's the highest amount of ingredient they got in it. And then as the wording goes down, that's the lesser amount of ingredients they got in that. And if you look there, that says 85% chicken, and that includes fresh deboned chicken and chicken broth, which is great because it said on the front it was 85%, and it is 85%. There's no lie in there, it is doing what it says it does. And then after that, it's all things like herbs and vegetables, which they do need as well. And it's important that when you're reading that, there's no cereals and there's no grains and there's no rice, because cereals and grains cause so many problems for dogs. I don't understand why they're allowed to put it in dog food. It should be illegal because it causes untold suffering in dogs. And even if your dog doesn't suffer with itchy skin or hot spots, it will just cause your dog will not feel great on it, and so it's a really bad thing. I don't know why they're allowed to put it in, but they put it in as a filler. It's a cheap filler and nothing else. It's not, there's no nutrients in it at all. It's just a cheap filler. So rather than filling it with the meat and the good stuff, they're just filling it with rubbish and getting away with it, and it's wrong. So you can see there. Now this is what I want to show you. So that's Barking Heads wet food. So here I've got Barking Heads dry food. Now I hate dry food, it's a horrible product, and so you might be wondering why I've got it. The reason I've got it is because if you go and watch my stopping dog food aggression, I had a dog that had dog food aggression that I had to get stopped when I very first got him, and dry food, he wasn't eating it, but it was part of the process. So if you need to know about that, just go and watch stopping dog food aggression. Right, here, look. So this, now I want to show you something first. This really annoys me. So this is a dry food, and here it states loads of quality natural free run chicken and trout. Loads. I would be thinking 65%, 85%. Brilliant. No, it's not brilliant. Look, composition, you can probably tell by my voice, this really winds me up. Composition. First thing, brown rice. The very first ingredient is brown rice. Where's the nutrition in that? None. This will make you laugh. Look, let's just go back over to here. Loads. Let's go back over to here. Chicken. 13%. 13%. They call that loads. And then potato. I'm not a big fan of potato in food. It's not the end of the world, but I'm not great. Certainly not great that high up. Look at this. Oats and barley. They will make your dog have itchy skin if he's prone to it. Oats and barley, really bad, and that high up. And then you've got a little bit of dried chicken, 9%. This is the bit that made me laugh. Look, trout, let's just put back over here. Loads of trout. If you go back to the composition, what they've actually put in is 5%. 5% of that is trout. Then after that, okay, after that's not looking too bad. You've got some oils and a few minerals and stuff. Not looking too bad. But you see my point. You could read that and be like, oh yeah, that's great. It says loads of chicken and stuff. Great, lovely. Especially as you know how good the wet food is. No, it's really, really, really bad. Really bad. That would, if I fed Albert this, we would be back to square one, which was him nearly being put down. So that is shocking that they're allowed to get away with that. I mean, that's false advertising. I used to work in advertising, and I know all about false advertising, and that is shocking. I don't know how they're allowed to get away with it. I don't know how they're allowed to get away with putting such a tiny little amount of a meat product in a dog food. It's shocking. Now I just want to quickly show you Harrington's now. So I feed my dogs Barking Heads, which is 85% all the time, but because it's something we have to order online, there were a few problems through Brexit and stuff like that. So I needed a backup plan, and the best I wanted something that I could get really, really easily. And so when I do my weekly Tesco shop, I can get this. Now this is not as good as Barking Heads because it's 65%, but 65% is still not bad at all, and I'll take it. So I don't feed, I just ever so now and again, I'll give them a pouch of this just so that the systems are used to having it. And then if anything happens with the online system, I've got a backup. So again, because it's a good quality food, it will state on the front what percentage of meat it has in it. The cheap ones aren't going to say, oh, we've got 5% chicken in ours, woohoo. They're not, they're not going to advertise how rubbish they are. They might as well just write across the front, we are a cheap, really bad dog food with 5% chicken. Feed this to your animals if you want them to have itchy skin. It's terrible. But 65%, and that says that it's good quality, and we've got the grain free, which again is vital. And if you turn over, because you want to check, because these people lie, so you need to check. So if you looked here, again, it's composition. So this has got a few different flavours in it, and so you just go to each one. And composition, that's the word you want, composition, not ingredients, composition. If you look here, salmon and chicken, 65%. So it's fine. So it's absolutely backed it up with that. And then if you just look further down, you're just checking through, make absolutely sure you've got no grains or cereals in there. And there's nothing. It's all good stuff. Green lip mussel, brilliant product. So it's all minerals and vegetables. It needs to be stuff that you would know what it is. So, yeah, know what that is. But not if it's a cereal. So oats, barley, any cereals, you don't want that in there. Now let me demonstrate again with the good old dry food situation. So this is a bag of Harrington's dry food that I've got. I use this for when I'm training them. It tastes... That's the thing, it's full of so much rubbish that they think it's a treat, so I use it as treats. So, again, now we want composition. Bear with my old eyes. Right, so, here we go. Composition, 26% salmon. So we've gone from, what does it say on the front of this food? Yeah, it doesn't mention anything about that. No nasties, no soya, no dairy. Let's have a see if we can find any nasties. Let's have a look. Composition, so we've got the salmon, so it's only 26%. Meat meals, what's a meat meal in this at home? I never heard of meat meals. Don't know what that is. Then you've got maize. There we go, maize. That's a nasty for you. That's a cereal. Maize. Nasty. Oh my God, it's got barley in it. It's got barley, it's got maize, oh my goodness. And that says no nasties on the front. See, this is why you need to know how to read the back of a packet, because you can't trust these people. I'm very disappointed in Harrington's about that, because, I do, like I said, feed them the wet food, and it says on the front there, no nasties. And that is nasties. Barley and maize are not good. They're just fillers. Okay. So that's that. Let me just really quickly talk to you about meat derivatives. While we're talking about meat derivatives, I will show you my gorgeous little pickle boy. Meat derivatives are the skanky old bits, the feet, the beaks, all the spare bits. Now, I know you can go into a pet shop and you can buy chicken feet, chicken whatever, as a treat for them. But that's not giving the dog any nutrition. It's just giving them, as a treat, it's wonderful, it's fine. It's natural, so it's a good treat. It's not giving them any nutrition, it's just giving them something to chew on that's not full of flavourings and colourings. So as a treat, they are very good. But there's not any nutrition in the feet and stuff. So when a dog food says animal derivatives, what it means is they haven't bothered to put any of the quality food in. They've just put in all the feet and the beaks and all the nasty bits off the floor. And there's no nutrition in that at all. Absolutely no nutrition. So meat derivatives, you need to avoid like the plague, because they really are going to really make your dog ill. And if a dog food has put meat derivatives in it, you know they've put fillers in it. So cereals and all the other stuff. And I can't emphasize enough how, look at him, gorgeous boy. I can't emphasize enough how much cereals will really make your dog's skin bad. Even if they don't actually suffer. So Pickle here, Harry, he doesn't suffer with itchy skin at all, but I wouldn't dream of feeding him food with cereals and stuff in it, because it's just so bad for them. And it's like feeding kids on junk food all the time, and I always know how bad anything like that is, because like I said, I use these. Wouldn't dream of feeding my dog dry food, and I use these as dog treats, because when I do a lot of training with my dogs, and they can get, can be a lot of treats, and then that can get quite fat for them. So I do a lot of my training with, and I use dry food, and they think they're treats. So that shows you like how much rubbish they got in them, because they're quite happy to do training for dry food as treats, which just about says it all, really. So this subject really winds me up, because I see dogs, I get so many people contact me because of my experience with hotspots, and I see so many dogs suffering really badly. And I say to the owner, we need to look at what you're feeding them. Can I look at the composition on your dog food? And I'll be like, well, get them off that dog food immediately. That is your problem. And they take it off it, and like within, it's instant. It's so quick. The dogs are no longer itchy, and therefore the owners aren't suffering, because it's a horrible thing for an owner to suffer as well. And it's just horrible, and I've seen it over and over and over and over again. Get them off the grains in the cereal, and make sure that there's a decent amount of protein in their food, and you will see improvements in their dog. I don't know how dog food companies are allowed to get away with this. It really winds me up. But not just because they're allowed to get away with it, but because they do all this false advertising, like we just saw on the Barking Heads dry food. Barking Heads, if you ever hear about this video, talk to me. I'm not someone that just says things and then backs away from them. I'm saying this, and I think the Barking Heads wet food is great, but then why let us down so badly with the dry food? Why not make a good quality dry food? Or is it, and like I said, if Barking Heads want to come and talk to me, you come and talk to me. Is it that it is impossible to make a good quality dry food? Maybe it's not a possible thing to do. I'm certainly now going to be looking more. I always knew dry food was bad, but that's quite shocking, isn't it? And when I go to the pet shop next, I will have a look at the dry foods, and if I can find you a good quality dry food, I'll tell you about it. But I'm suspecting that if it could be done, it would have been done. And I would like some food companies to come and talk to me and tell me why dry food is just full of so much rubbish and why it's so bad for our dogs. Is it that you're just doing it to be cheap, or is it that it's not possible to make dry food healthy? I don't know. Anyway, it winds me up because it's making dogs ill, and that's not on. Anyway, I'm going to stop ranting now. Now I've got myself all wound up about it. Going to stop ranting. If you've got any questions at all, please put them into comments. Like I always say, I can answer most questions. If I can't help you, there may be another experienced dog owner that's in comments and can help you, but I certainly will do my best to help you. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, Furry and Spoilt for them both, and depending on when you watch this, there may or there may not be a website. I'm working on it at the moment, so if you're watching this in the future, then it may well be up. And that's it. Oh, it winds me up. I can't stand people not treating dogs properly. Winds me right up. Anyway, have a lovely day. I'm going to see you in the next video. Bye bye.